Hello. Welcome to Ox Market Trading. Actually, Mighty Ox Trading. I changed the name recently. Great way to start. Welcome to my webinar. Today we'll be discussing some of the basics of trading, some of the basics of futures, and then the Earn2Trade Opportunity, how to best learn from learning materials that I'm offering if you're brand new to trading, and then how to go through the process to get funded through Earn2Trade, or any other evaluation company, but I'm partial to Earn2Trade. So today, like I said, we'll be going through this. Let me go through what I have planned today. And please, this is the first time I've ever done a webinar, so give me a little bit of grace as I try to go through and find my information set up here in the OBS. Oops, and we start with part 3. Good job. Part 1. I'll give you a little introduction about me, why I became a trader, my journey and where I stand in the funding process. In part 2, we'll talk about some trading basics, about what is day trading, the risks of day trading, the skill, that it's a skill and not gambling, and what the difference is between trading and investing. In part 3, we'll talk about futures, the basics, how they're different, the advantages of futures versus stocks, and don't mind my typos there and advantages, I put this together rather quickly, and as well as how futures are valued and traded. In part 4, we'll talk about the free learning materials and how best to use it, how I believe you should treat it like a college level course. We'll talk about some gurus and paid courses that are out there that you should avoid, then how to use simulators and how long to practice in sim. Then we'll go to the Earn2Trade and the process of becoming a funded trader. What is the Gauntlet Mini? Choosing the right evaluation for you, the costs of evaluation and resets, the rules, and what happens after you pass. And in part 6, the minimum you need to trade, the tools I use, what's an indicator, and what ones do I use, what I feel is the best charting platform, and maybe some basics on how to set up a chart. And then last, my promise to you to help you out if you decide to start with Earn2Trade or start just learning to trade. Any questions and answers, you may feel free to ask questions along the way as well, but any that we don't get to or that you just want to wait to the end, we'll take questions. I'll take questions. I say we all the time, and I don't know why I do that. This is not a one-person show. And to wrap up, we'll talk about my live streams and my social media links so we can keep in touch. So going back to point 1 about me and why I became a trader and why I find trading important. I got tired of the same, uh, just the same life. I'm tired of being broke. I have been pretty much broke my entire life. And then 2 years ago, one of the worst things that ever happened to me is I ended up getting sick and ended up having a leg amputation. And while that was one of the worst things that ever happened, it could also have been one of the best. Because while I was in the rehab waiting for an artificial leg, I started getting back into trading. When I say getting back into, I've always had an interest in trading, but it was always out of reach for me, at least until things like Robinhood started coming along with free commissions. So, I had dabbled in Robinhood for a while, for a little bit, I should say, and I never had much money to do anything with it. But while I was there in the rehab and having nothing else to do, I decided to start teaching myself how to trade. Started watching YouTube videos. I started, you know, I had a little bit of money in Robinhood from before everything that was going on, and I figured I might also try and teach myself this skill if it was possible. And I really got into it, but I kept being frustrated by the fact that with stocks, you have all these rules, pattern day trading rule, and it's so hard to do anything consistently. So, I was watching a live stream one day, and the guy started talking about these funding programs in futures. So at that point, I didn't know anything about futures. I mean, I knew a little bit. Like I heard about when oil went negative, and that was about it. I didn't know how they work, so I did myself a crash course, and I jumped in very much too fast to the evaluation programs. First at Top Step, then I went to Earn2Trade. So part of this webinar is going to be how not to do the wrong things that I did. But since then, I've been constantly learning, growing, and embracing this opportunity. Now, why do I think you and everybody should learn how to trade? Because it's an opportunity to really control finances, in my opinion. You know, if you learn this skill, if you take the time to learn the skill, I'm not talking about jumping into a stock because your great uncle Milt told you a tip. I'm talking about learning how to read charts or read, volume, however you want to learn to trade. I'll show you my way. There's various ways of trading. But if you learn this skill and treat it as a skill, you can make money. And there's no boss. You set your time. You set how much your goals. And it's just you versus the market. And that can be scary when there's absolutely no one else you're responsible to besides yourself. But it's also the very best opportunity. And I truly believe anybody can learn to trade. I don't care if you're a master's degree. I don't care if you didn't graduate high school. I don't care if you make $1,000 a year or $10 million a year. No matter what walk of life you're in, you can learn to trade. Excuse me, no matter what language you speak, you can learn to trade. No matter if you grew up poor, rich, somewhere in between, you can learn to trade. And there's no reason not to take the opportunity to at least try. Am I saying trading's for everybody? No, there's some people that might just detest it for whatever reason. But I'm saying, in my opinion, anybody that wants to, anybody that wants to, can learn to trade. So that's why I'm saying at least take a look. Take an opportunity to really, you know, later on I'll show you and tell you how I can provide you some free learning materials to cover some of the basics to even some more advanced items on trading. And at least look over those course materials and decide if it's for you. Give it a try. Because I know that, in my opinion, trading is going to be what's going to change my life. Like I said, I'm right now, my finances are horrible. When you spend a year in a hospital and then a rehab, your bills pile up, your income's down. So I'm starting from the very bottom with zero money basically. Now, like I said, I have been doing valuation, or as Earn2Trade calls it, a mini gauntlet, for a little while. Why am I not funded? Well, one thing that I actually didn't plan to talk about much in this webinar, but is very, very important in trading, is trader psychology. You have to, once you start learning it, you have to believe in yourself. You have to, follow your trading plan, and if you start seeing results, believe in it. And I've struggled with that. I've struggled with that in real life, in self-confidence. But that doesn't mean if you struggle in self-confidence now, that doesn't mean you can't be a successful trader. I will be successful. I don't doubt that. I might just have a little bit of a wall I need to break through here. But I have a trading plan that I know works. I have stats that show it's working. I just need to put it in play. So, you know, I would advise, and I can have some links on trader psychology that you should also probably take advantage of and look at as you're starting to learn to trade. But I hope you'll follow, even if you decide not to get into trading or you want to wait to see whether or not I'm successful at it, I hope you follow along in my journey so you can see me become successful. And maybe that'll help inspire you as well and realize that this is indeed for you. So let's go on to number 2. Of course, I didn't leave up number 2. I left up number 1. Trading basics. What is day trading? The risks of day trading. Talk about whether, excuse me, skill that is learned and not gambling, and the difference between trading and investing. So let's start with first. What is day trading? Day trading is simple. It just means you are buying and selling an asset the same day. My trades, when I'm doing trading on futures, I have trades that last anywhere between 10 seconds and 3 hours. Some can even go longer. You can cut it anytime. But basically, it means you're not holding overnight. Um, Now, the difference between day trading and swing trading and investing. Swing trading means you're buying something to hold it for a few days or a few weeks. Investing means you're buying something and you're planning on holding it for a long time. A lot of people buy, like, say, I don't know, Apple. They buy Apple just to hold it. They plan on buying, holding it through thick and thin forever or for 10 years until they retire, whatever. But day trading is quick. You're seeing your gains or your losses, but you're seeing your gains in that day. Usually most, I would say my average trade lasts 10 minutes. And that can be a very good thing because, you can do what you need to do in a little bit of time and go on with your day. So that's what day trading is compared to swing trading and compared to investing. Um, Now, what are the risks? Well, if you're not taking the time to learn the skill, then the risks are you're going to lose money. There's stats out there that say 90% of day traders lose money. And that's probably true. But I believe that stat is skewed in a way that it includes so many people that don't take the time to learn. They get in the market thinking they know everything. They blow up an account with their own money, whether that's $500 or $5,000 or more. They say, trading sucks. And then they quit. And they become the statistic. I would love to know what the stat is of traders that make money if they actually take the time to learn that skill. So yes, anything in the market, there's risk. And again, none of this is investment advice. This is just educational. I gotta say that, or else I can get in trouble with the whatever government agency that is. But take the time to learn the skill, and your risk goes down. Now, does that mean you're going to win every trade? No. Most day traders win 50%, 70%. 70% is a great win rate. 50% is a profitable win rate if you're doing it right. And I'll show that later. But, so yes, there's risks. And the other way to mitigate risk that we'll talk about is instead of risking your own money, learn the skill and then get evaluated by taking a mini gauntlet test with Earn2Trade, and then trade with their money. So that mitigates the risk of using your own money. And as I say, yeah, trading is a skill that to be learned. So many people think trading is gambling, and it's not. I even have experienced traders that say trading is gambling, and it's not. Trading is a skill, as I've said, I think 20 times now. Gambling, the house always wins. There's no house in trading. Now it is a zero-sum game. If you win a trade, someone else just lost the trade. Because when you buy an asset, someone just sold it. If you sell an asset, someone both bought it. So yeah, it's a zero-sum game. But that doesn't mean it's gambling in any way. Just like, someone said, well, poker is also gambling, but, you can make money. Well, professional poker players, in my opinion, they're no longer gambling. They have a skill that they're taking, no different than any other sport or whatever. You learn the skill, and there's plenty of people out there that are unskilled in the market that are just going to lose money to you. Just go for it. Again, feel free to ask any questions along the way if you have any questions. So, looks like we covered most of part 2 already. Covered the difference between trading and investing. Trading is a skill that's, yep, so on to, oops, futures. So, what are the futures? And why futures? Well, first of all, like I said, I got involved with futures because of the funding programs. There isn't a lot of these funding programs for some reason for stocks. I think it's just because stocks are so varied. I've seen one or two, but they're not real good. Uh, Give me 1 second, reading the chat. Okay. Uh, yeah, we'll get to that here in a bit. Golf, I actually have some stuff about the combine later on. So futures are basically contracts instead of shares or whatever they call it in Forex. What do they call it in Forex? Just money? I don't know. I'm not a Forex guy. Anyway, they're contracts for a future delivery of something, whether it's bushels of corn, barrels of oil, so many pounds or ounces of gold, copper, etc. Now, if you're trading futures on your own with a brokerage, you do have to worry about taking delivery of these contracts if you hold them too long. But with Earn2Trade, you don't need to worry about any of that. You just keep rolling the contracts forward and don't worry about accidentally getting a message that you just bought 20,000 bushels of corn. So, that's that's the basics of futures. Obviously, they started off a long time ago where, it was a way for farmers to guarantee prices on their products, and then it expanded to like metals and oil. And now you can even get like futures on the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, the Russell 2000, and those are actually some of the more popular to trade. Next, we have, and how are they different from stocks and Forex? Uh, One of the big differences between stocks and futures is that, you know, first of all, there's only like, I'm not sure how many futures, but whereas you have thousands of companies in stocks, you can trade, there's like, I'm going to say 50, maybe 100. I don't even think it's that much. Different kinds of futures, at least available with Earn2Trade. You can trade 22 hours a day, 5 days a week, instead of just the limited hours that are. Um, Actually, I think I have the graphic for this, and I forgot about it. Hey, there we go. Trading's open 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that means there's an opportunity around the clock. You can trade when you have time. Now, there's times that aren't as liquid, where there's not as much volume, so trading can be a little bit harder. Our futures, all speculators trading benefit the farmers, providing insurance to them. Jay, they do I believe the farmers benefit because it locks in prices. So I mean, if they sell at, I don't know, $5 a bushel for corn, and there's a bumper crop that would have pushed down the price to $4 a bushel, they're locked in that price at $5. So it can provide both sides a stable price of a commodity at a future date. So yeah, futures is 23 hours a day. Now on Earn2Trade or almost every evaluation company, it's 22 hours really, or 22 hours and 10 minutes. You usually need to have all trades closed by 3:10 p.m. even though the market's open till 4. So markets open Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then close for the weekend at 5 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, with a 1 hour break each day between 5 and 6 Eastern. So that means, if you have a job, you can, you have, excuse me, you can, you know, not have to worry about trying to catch when the market opens and trying to trade while you're working, or trying to trade, you know, missing out on all the opportunities because you can't get in when the market's hot. I actually find that I don't have a chance to trade much overnight, but things seem to trend better in the overnights, in my opinion. Now, there's no Pdt rule in stocks. The U.S. government has stated that if you have less than $25,000 in your brokerage account, you can only make 3 day trades a week. That I hate that rule. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, ah, it frustrated me because when I was first trying to trade stocks, and it was I didn't have, of course I didn't have $25,000, and I would be there. Oh, am I going to waste this day trade? I'll end up staying in positions longer, hoping that they would, go the right way, because I didn't want to waste a day trade. And I ended up making mistakes because of that. With futures, you can trade as much or as little as you want. I've taken 10 trades in a day. I've taken one trade in a day. Now there is something as over trading, and trading too much, and that can cause problems for you personally. But there's not going to be nothing that's going to stop you from taking however many trades you want. Just make sure you're following your trading plan and you're not getting tired or revenge trading or any of the other things that can come if you're sitting too long in front of the screen. The next thing is that you can easily go short. Now, what does that mean? It means that even if the market's falling, you can make money. Now, you can short stocks too, but it's a lot harder. You have to pay borrow fees. You have to hope that there's shares to be borrowed. Not, I don't think you can short every stock. And even if you can, sometimes it's hard there, you get a hard to borrow, which means that if you can borrow, you end up paying higher fees, and um, it's just a thing. And if you hold shorts, in stocks, you end up paying even higher fees. It's just a lot easier. There's no borrow fees. You can just go long, go short, and make money. There's people that make lots of money during the COVID crash when you saw everything kind of crash down mightily during March of 2000. So it's just as easy to go long as it is to go short. So there's no reason you can't make money both ways. And you also have less assets to track to find a good trade. With stocks, there's expensive stock scanners out there hoping that each day to find the asset that's moving that day because of news or they had a good earnings report or whatever. And it's scanning thousands of companies. With futures, futures, you know, you can hone in on whatever product you like to trade. Like I said, there's probably about 50 good ones, maybe, that have enough volume that are worthwhile to trade. And you can find the one or two that you like, or more, but it's best if you're just starting out to find one or two to stick with, learn it, learn how it moves, and you don't need to keep jumping around hoping to find the hot one that day. Uh, uh, John Landenberg here on YouTube says that he agrees with me with trending during the night sessions. He starts at 3 a.m. with oil and copper. Hey, nice to see another copper trader. Everyone makes fun of me because I found copper to be my favorite asset to trade. I don't like trading crude oil. Crude oil just never gives me, it's just too choppy. I always have issues with trying to trade crude. But I like copper. Okay, so back to our list here. Ticks and points and how are futures valued and traded. That's one of the biggest changes between stocks and futures. Let me pull up I actually have this on Reddit where give me 1 second. And we'll switch. Oops. There, that's better. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. So here are I made a list of all the products, and I have this link down all in the show notes for the various Reddit posts I've done. You can see here, like the most traded of any future is the E-mini S&P 500. Its tick size is 1250. Tick is how futures move, not in dollars and cents. Each tick has a value, and each asset has a different tick value. So that's one thing that can really confuse newer traders. Like the NQ moves at $5 a tick, but the NQ often moves faster. So even though the tick size is smaller, you'll find that you could gain or lose faster than on the S&P. So here's a quick list of all the different assets, and you can find this, like I said, on my Reddit. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, Russell. The S&P mid cap I included here, but the volume on that really is very low. And you also have micros. The micros trade at 1/10 of the size of the E-mini, and they're great to start with as you're starting to get into trading, because you're not going to get too hurt even if you totally mess up. So like, the S&P 500, its tick size is 1250. But on the micro, it's $1.25. NASDAQ's only 50 cents, Dow, and the Russell as well. Now you also hear talking about points. In some areas, points aren't as important. Like, no one cares that the point on heating oil is $42,000. But like NASDAQ, you'll hear points. S&P, you hear points. It's just 4 ticks. 4 ticks make a point in that. But each thing has its own tick size. So if you hear someone talking about a tick in gold, it's not going to be the same as the tick in S&P. And you almost always hear, you usually will not hear people talking about the actual price of the movement. You hear someone say, gold went up 10 ticks, not gold went up $100. So that's lingo you want to learn as you're going along. No, even good question, Jay. Jay asks, when the S&P and Nasdaq are correlating, does that mean that if the S&P moves 10 ticks, then the Nasdaq will move 25 ticks? No. While these two assets do tend to move in the same direction, first of all, they don't always move in the same direction. But even when they're doing that, they don't always correlate at all. Each thing trades in its own way, getting its own buyers and sellers. While they often run in sympathy with one another, they won't be exact. Oh, and I guess I should explain this real quick. I'm using Restream to be able to stream to both YouTube and Twitch. And I can talk to both of you, both platforms at the same time. That's why those of you on YouTube might not be wondering where Jay's coming from. And for those of you on Twitch, where the YouTube questions are coming from, I'm seeing both. I just haven't figured out how to be smart enough to get the chat on screen so both platforms can see it at the same time. But that's why if you see me answering questions and you're like, where's that question coming from? That's where. So you can see, like, even here, currencies, there's like, I believe 8 currencies that you can trade on Earn2Trade. No one ever talks in the points, because the points are like $125,000. Everyone talks in ticks, which is usually around 5 to 625. Agriculture, treasuries. Treasuries have some of the largest tick values at 31.25 each for the Ultra bond and the 30-year Treasury bond. Metals, there's also micros in both the gold and silver, and there's a micro crude as well. Micro crude is one of the newer ones. Last I looked, I didn't see a lot of volume on that, but it might be different now. So, let's go back to our list. If I can find the list. Okay. I believe we covered everything in part 3. Well, I guess it's time to move on to part 4. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Let me jump ahead here to the avoid gurus and the pay courses, because that one kind of stands out. It's kind of I'm not sure exactly why I put it in this part as I was putting this together, but once you start getting into trading, you're going to start seeing ads everywhere for trading, for these gurus that claim that following them and that you're going to learn everything you need to know, and they're going to want to charge you lots of money for the course. Let's see here. There we go. You see this here, this graphic I just made up earlier. This graphic here shows 5 ads that were on my Facebook. Not over a couple of days. I scrolled down my Facebook, and these were almost back to back with a couple of regular Facebook posts in between. All these are courses or algos or indicators that they want you to pay for that they claim is going to bring you wonderful trading results. I pay for YouTube Premium now, so I don't see ads. And I do that for one reason. Because I got tired of seeing the trader gurus in front of every video. You're going to get swarmed with them. Ignore them all. The other thing, like I said, there's going to be paid courses. Almost everything you find online that people want you to pay for is can be found free. Now here, Warrior Trading is one of the most famous ones. Now he's a stock day trader, and I actually like the guy. He's a nice guy, and I really believe in his trading. And his course comes with a lot here, all the classes, so on and so forth, trading room, real-time simulator, mentor access, so on and so forth. But look at this. $5,997 for 1 year of access. For 90 days of access, $4,297. There's no way you need to do that. And another one here, another stock trader, Ricky Gutierrez. Oops. And I have volume on that accidentally. Again, I believe he's successful, but he is just trying to pull people in. How I became one of the youngest millionaires in Arizona. Flashy cars. The whole symbol of trading success is a Lamborghini. And they love to flash these. This is what you're going to have. Ignore them all. Ignore the gurus. Do not pay for anything. There are probably indicators out there that are decent. But for the most part, learning to trade when you first start, don't need to worry about any of this stuff. So, we got our little guru rant out of the way. Where were we? Okay. Prep to start. Get this down. So, if you're just learning to trade, or just wanting to learn to trade, like I said, ask me about the materials that I can get you. And then you want to treat it like a college course, but no student loan debt. Don't rush it. Plan for at least 2 months. But again, don't rush and try and say, I need to finish in 2 months. Do it as your leisure. This is a skill that can last you a lifetime. And trading is something you can do, for as long as you have the mental faculties to do it. So there's no need to rush. So we'll go through the learning materials, and I'll bring up the learning material. Matter of fact, let me bring up the learning materials now. Why don't I have an Earn2Trade window up? That was a fail on my part. Give me 1 second here. And definitely don't be afraid to take notes as you're going along and ask questions as you go. If you have any questions, I'm available on Reddit, on Facebook, on Discord. Or you can also join the Earn2Trade Discord. You don't need to be a member of Earn2Trade to do it. They allow anybody in there, or almost anybody, unless you're trying to sell a indicator and pretending you're a monkey. So let me go to my dashboard here. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. So let's switch over to there. See. This is the course you get that I can get you. Earn2Trade's been nice enough to allow me to give this out to people who ask. They normally charge for it. And it also comes free if you sign up for a Gauntlet. But like I said, this is free either way. And it goes through 28 fundamental lessons. Everything from styles of trading, what is trading, some of the stuff I'm covering here, trader's mindset, platforms. I don't know why they have Forex stuff in here. You don't need that. Journaling, fundamental analysis, things to avoid. On the advanced side, they have some stuff about different indicators and more advanced stuff. Things about distractions, sticking to the rules, keeping accountable. They also have guides. Now, there's a lot of stuff here you don't need to worry about in the materials, but guides on everything from different strategies, technical analysis, how to make a successful trading plan, uh, back testing, and then the third part is the webinars. Everything from volume, these are almost hour-long webinars, and you can see how many there are. So this is a comprehensive plan. Now, I actually went through all this. Of course, I didn't watch them all, but based on their titles, I did a post here on Reddit. What I recommend you focus on from the first sessions and what ones you can avoid. Like I told you, can avoid the Forex. Other lessons I consider important. Then the guides, which ones I considered important, and in the webinars. And obviously, that's a lot of material. In my opinion, the guides and the first 62 lessons there are the most important. Webinars will be good as you have time. But this is what, in my opinion, what you should focus on. How does Earn2Trade differ from competing prop firms? Jay asks. Earn2Trade, in my opinion, has an easier evaluation. There's a couple of prop firms that have two-step evaluations instead of one. Earn2Trade only has one. You only need to do it once. Some make you reach the profit target twice. They also have an end-of-day drawdown, which means that your drawdown isn't constantly trailing. I'll talk about drawdown here in just a bit, but trust me, it's much easier with that end-of-day drawdown. And I mean, I haven't dealt with like customer service or whatnot of any of the other funding companies, prop firms, but I really like Earn2Trade support. Their support is wonderful. They have a Discord with wonderful people. absolutely great mod there. His name's Ox, but in all seriousness, the Discord manager, he went above and beyond to help me get this all started. When I told him I had people that were interested in trading that were absolutely brand new and I needed some materials that could help them, there's just this friendly, helpful vibe that you're not just you're not just money to them. You are more important. So let's see. Back to our webinar here. Okay, so like I said, treat it like a college course. Take 2 to 3 months. What you want to do is you want to learn, and then you want to start practicing in a simulator. You have to practice. And this is where I went wrong. I went wrong in all of this. I, you know, I jumped from doing stocks right into almost, did a quick learning about futures, and then I jumped in to an evaluation. And that was with a different company. It was with Top Step. They're the biggest. They've been around the longest. They also have the hardest evaluation. And I did not take the time to really learn how things worked. I just thought it was going to be just like stocks. I didn't take the time to learn. I didn't take the time to practice. I think I practiced in a simulator maybe 2 days at most. And that's why I struggled. I mean, I understand now. The only reason I'm not funded now is because of psychology, like I talked about earlier. But back then, I mean, I look at how I was trading back then, and I'm like, my God, I was an idiot. There's no way that I should have ever been doing that. If you want to waste money, then you'll just jump right in. I wasted money. I wasted, money in paying for the evaluations and failing. I thought, well, you know what? I just need to have a bigger cushion, so I went for the bigger evals that had a bigger loss limit. Nope. I I should have stopped, and I should have sim traded for at least a month. So let's go back to that prep. Watching someone else trade. Now this is one of the things that really, in my opinion, did help my trading. Is I spent a lot of time watching stock day traders. Now, like I said, I should have practiced and adjusted to um, futures, but I did watch stock day traders. I watched that Ross Cameron at Warrior Trading. I watched a couple others and learned about how things move and about support and resistance, and a lot of things started clicking. So in my opinion, you should watch. And this is, obviously I live stream 5 times a week, and I'm always willing to answer questions while I'm trading. But I'm not saying you have to watch me. You can watch some stock day traders. There is not a lot of future day traders out there that live stream. I'm not sure why. There is one other one that I know of, and he's not good. I would not recommend you follow anything he says because he doesn't use stop losses, and he's blown so many different accounts. It's not even funny. I won't mention his name. I'm not gonna put him down here. That's not my goal. But you, so you, I mean, maybe I should so you avoid him, but I'm not going to. But yeah, watching someone else do it and being able to ask questions so they can explain it as it's happening, in my opinion, is invaluable. Now, like I said, that's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to get more views or more eyes on my streams, which are always welcome. And then, of course, sim and paper trading. You got to practice. at least 1 month until you, and under realistic conditions. In other words, if you start sim trading and you're trading 10 contracts or 100 contracts, that's not real. You're not treating it like it's real. And I mean, you won't have the same feeling sim trading as when you're doing it for real. You can't get that same adrenaline, but you can get somewhat close. So you need to be doing realistic conditions. You need to not be taking, if you wouldn't, if you were trading with, whether it's in an evaluation or with your own real money, you wouldn't be shooting for 100 ticks profit target with a 50 tick stop loss, or at least you shouldn't be. You would be using, tight stops, looking for small gains and building up on that. You wouldn't be trading 100 contracts. Sim trading allows you to do that, but you shouldn't. You need to be trading under realistic conditions, and you should do it until you can show a consistent profit with a strategy you can explain. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that, if I ask you, you show me that you made a winning trade. You made, you got 20 ticks on gold, $200. I'm going to ask you, well, why did you get in there and why did you get out there? If you just say to me, well, I had a gut feeling, that's not a winning, that's not a strategy. Gut feelings very rarely work when it comes to trading. You need something solid. Got to remember, a lot of what you're trading against is also algorithms, and they don't think. They don't have gut feelings. You need to have a plan and understand why you're getting in and why you're getting out. If you're just jumping in and getting lucky, that luck's going to run out. You need a plan, and you need to follow through with that, and you need to show that that plan can be consistently profitable. And once you do that, then you can start looking to move on. Whether you want to, like I say, I think you should trade with Earn2Trade or another prop company, so you're not risking your own anything more than the evaluation fee. But if you want to, either way, if you want to trade with your own money and decide you want to do that, no matter what, you should be practicing first and until you can show profit. Let's see here. So, oh yeah, simulators. So somewhere here, I have a page of simulators. There we go. Simulators. Let me bring up Steam. There's three major simulators that I know of. One is the CME group. CME is the actual exchange that futures are traded on. Uh, CME Group is I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. CME Group is the exchange, think of like New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, but for futures. And they have a practice account you can sign up for. You do need to make an account. The next one is Ninjatrader. This is actually software to download. Ninjatrader is one of the platforms you can use to trade on Earn2Trade as well. They give you a free license, but you don't need a license, I don't believe, to do sim trade. And then the third is TradingView. TradingView, this is my charts on TradingView, but sorry about that. And I'll explain all these later, but if you come down here to trading panel, paper trading, connect, And of course, markets aren't open right now, but you just you can trade off of TradingView. The only thing I don't like about TradingView Simulator is you can't use trailing stops, and that's another subject for another time. Okay, John Landberg asked, do I retrade the day in Sim to revisit the looks and your trading decisions? If I have time, I do that occasionally over the weekends. Fortunately, the my time doesn't allow me to do that during the day, each day, but it is a good idea to go back through your day and look at the look at the day as it's gone. TradingView has an awesome replay feature where you can go back to yeah, I can't do it on this symbol, but you can go back and look at bar by bar how it plays out. And we'll talk about charts here in a little bit. So those are the three simulators that I recommend. Unfortunately, you do not get a free simulator with the trading materials that I'm offering. But if you if you want to sign up for Earn2Trade and pay them, to start a Gauntlet, which I don't recommend until you're ready. But you do get a free simulator there. So what's next? I do want to thank everyone for joining me here today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, or at least like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Oops, that's not where I was going. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so I believe this is where I'm next. Earn2Trade Gauntlet Mini. I apologize for that quick flashing through there. For a second there, I forgot that shows up live. So part 5 is next. Earn2Trade. Process to become a funded trader. Gauntlet Mini. So Earn2Trade is a evaluation company that works with now 3 different prop firms. Once you pass the evaluation with Earn2Trade, you get funded with, you can pick which one you want. I believe Helios, Appius, and EdgeClear is their newest one. There are several, like I said, of these funding companies out there. Top Step, Earn2Trade, Lilu, Apex, UProfit, and a few others. And like I said, I'm partial to Earn2Trade. The process of becoming a funded trader is basically when you feel like you're ready, you start the examination process, the mini gauntlet. Now, mini gauntlet is basically a test. You trade in a simulated environment, and you have to make a certain profit target without breaking the rules. So let's bring up back to scene here. Give me a second. Here's the 5 levels that that Earn2Trade offers: 25K, 50K, 75K, 100K, 150K. They each differ in the amount that the profit you need to reach, the trailing drawdown, daily loss, max contracts, and then so on and so forth. And now you see here, these are the costs. Earn2Trade runs the sales just about every month. And also, I am an affiliate with Earn2Trade. If you sign up with my link, you get 20% off of any regular price of a gauntlet. How to pick one that's right for you. If you're brand new to trading, you're just got done with the simulator, I would pick this one, 50K. Gives you a little bit more of a, wiggle room with the daily loss and the drawdown. And it's not so big that you're trying to get this, huge amounts and so on and so forth. I'm actually in the 75K. I went right in the middle. It's just my personal preference. At one point, when I was with Top Step, I tried the big one, and that didn't work out either. So 50K is what I would recommend for everybody if you're new. If you have a lot of experience trading and you're doing, then whatever. But newer people, definitely 50K account gives you, in my opinion, the best happy medium between, a decent profit goal. Now, I think, let's see, what did I have here? Okay. So you want to choose your account size. Yes, they are running the 25K promotion for $90 this month. And I'll be honest, yeah, I would be nervous doing the 25K just because that daily loss is a little. If you do the 25K, you should definitely switch to micros. Stick with micros because of the you don't want to end up blowing it. And I also think that if you feel you're ready for a gauntlet, most likely later this month for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and all that, you're probably gonna get even better deals. I stick to one contract for the most part. I can trade up to three, but eventually once I get higher in profit, I can trade up to nine. But right now I'm sticking to one. So you want to choose your account size, and you want to read the rules and the limits. So what are the rules? You need to trade at least 15 trading days. So that means if you're doing a 50K, everyone's like they want to hit a home run. They want $1,000 a day. There's no reason for that. $3,000 divided by 15. Oops, I forgot to switch the scene. I apologize. There we go. The magic of the internet. You only need $200 a day. That could be one good trade. Or if you're doing micros, it's a couple good trades. There's no reason to shoot for home runs. No reason to shoot for $1,000 at a time. Matter of fact, we'll talk about the consistency rule then, and why you shouldn't do that. But and again, it's minimum of 15 days. You don't have to do it in 15 days. You can choose, if you can take as long as you want. We'll talk about costs here in a minute. You don't want to dip below the daily loss. So in the 50K, your daily loss is $1,100. A YouTuber I follow that also talks a lot about these evaluations says if you reach 1/3 of your daily loss in a day, you should shut down for the day and just start fresh the next day. That way you don't end up getting close to your daily loss. So I've never lost $1,100 in a day. But I've seen people that just decide to go for it, or shouldn't say go for it. That has a positive connotation. YOLO, and blow up at 3,000. I mean, it shuts you down right after you hit 1,100. But I've seen people do 150K and they blow through $3,000 and reset after an hour. So you don't want to hit your daily loss limit. And then you have your drawdown. Now, what's a drawdown? That's basically a cumulative negative over time. So let's say you have, okay, you can't go lower than two. If you have a $50,000 account, you can't go lower than 48,000. So that means if you have 4 straight days where you lose $500 without any gains, you just hit your maximum drawdown and you're done. But drawdown trails into your original count value. What do I mean by that? Well, I should have drew this out because the would have been good to see. But let's say Give me 1 second. I need to take a drink here. My mouth's starting to get dry. There we go. Okay. So you gain $500. Let me bring up a notepad. Maybe that'll help. So you start off with 50,000. Let me make that bigger. Start off with $50,000, and your drawdown's 48,000. Then you make $500. So now your total is $5,500. Your drawdown also goes up $500, still trailing by $2,000. But then the next day, you get $5,500, but you lose $250. So now you're at $5,250, but your drawdown stays the same. So now instead of being $2,000 behind, now your drawdown is only $750. Means if you lose another $750, it ends. Now I said earlier that Earn2Trade is easier because of the way they do the drawdown. Most of the other companies, can't say all, but most of the other companies trail your drawdown as you're in a trade throughout the day. It means if you go into a trade, you're $1,000 up, and that trade pulls back, and you close the trade only being $500 up, your drawdown went up by 1,000. So even though you just made $500 profit, your drawdown is $1,000 closer, which means technically you could make all profitable trades and still fail. Earn2Trade doesn't look at your intraday trading. It recalculates your drawdown just once at the end of the day. So you're never going to get a surprise where, if you had 10 trades that day, 9 of them went up by $500 and one lost by $500. You're going to, your break even, your drawdown's not going to move. And I think that is one of the most important things, and one of the things that makes Earn2Trade so much easier to pass. So the trailing drawdown. Only trade during approved times. That way we talked about most things, most assets can be traded from 6 p.m. Eastern to 4:10 Eastern. There are a few things that have weird times. Agriculture products close for 45 minutes in the morning, and you got to be flat. And they also close, I think, at 2 p.m. or 2:15 instead of 4:10. Trade Golf, Lilu does as you're in the trade, it continues to go up. Yes, they do not do end of day drawdown. I actually did a Lilu Express and ended up failing, not because of the drawdown, but I kept closing trades before they would go because I was so afraid of that drawdown. So anyway, approved times, just make sure you know what times things trade that you're trading. If you stick to the more popular ones, you won't have a problem. Just remember, always look. Always look um, at your platform, whatever it is, that you have all trades closed. That is one thing that gets a lot of people, is they set a limit order and they accidentally leave that limit order sitting there for a long time and they forget it's open, and if that order's still open at 4:10 p.m., you're going to fail. And that gets a lot of people. You you got to make sure you know all your orders are closed. I always go in and look. At 3 o'clock my time, 4 Eastern, I go into my platform and make sure all my trades either say um, filled or canceled. That way, you're sure. Or whenever you're done trading for the day, just go in and make sure all your orders are closed. Also, make sure there's certain holidays that have special hours. You need to watch. Earn2Trade has no restrictions on trading during holiday hours. Some others don't allow you to, but you want to make sure you know when it closes, which is oftentimes like noon Eastern or 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. And one of the next pitfalls, as Jay put it, that get people is the progression ladder. The progression ladder. Let's see if I has an example here. Yeah. So in a 50K account, from 0 to 1500, you're allowed to trade 2 contracts. If you trade more than that, you're gonna fail. And you need to be very, very careful if you're trading micros and you switch back to regular size, that you change your volume of your contracts. I failed and had to reset one time because I was trading 5 micro gold contracts and I switched over to the regular gold contract and I entered a trade for 5. So now on micros you can trade up to 10 for that equals 1 contract. But for regular size contracts, then as you're going up, you can add more. 1,500 to 2,000, 4 contracts, 2,000 plus 6. But you want to watch it because if you dip below, you want to be careful. If you dip below, it can also knock you out. So it's those two, the progression ladder and trading at approved times, are two that people do accidentally often, and you want to be careful of, that end up causing you to fail. So we had covered daily loss, the drawdown, the approved times, 15 days progression ladder, and maintain consistency. Now this isn't a rule that's going to fail you, but it can make it harder for you to pass. So you, the rule is that you can't make more than 30% of your profit for your goal in any one day. So if it does, I'm sorry, if you do, then your profit goal is going to go up. So for like the $50,000 account, your profit goal is $3,000. So you times that by 0.3, so you can't make more than $900 in one day. In any one day. If you make more than that, then your profit goal is going to go up a little bit, or a lot if you totally blow it out of the water somehow. So you just want to, that's why I'm saying you don't need to go for home runs. Go for base hits and inch your way up. But those are the major rules, and these rules are a lot easier than most of the other companies. You know, on Top Step, whatever you see here, you would have to do twice. And the second time is hard. They make it harder. The drawdown on other companies is harder. You having to deal with it intraday. So those are the rules and how to follow them. Let's see the next thing. Choosing the right evaluation we talked about. Cost. Okay, so let's look at the cost of evaluations and resets. We looked at that a little bit. These are your um, undiscounted costs. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Um, I've never seen a time where there wasn't something on sale at Earn2Trade. This right now it's the 25K for $90. Last month it was the 50K for 99. Um, so you basically, and this is a monthly fee. So if you don't finish in 1 month, then you got to pay a second month. Once you pass, you no longer have to pay the monthly fee. But then you do need to pay your data fees. You get one data feed for free, depending on how many things you want to trade. There's actually 4 different exchanges, I guess you'd call them, and it breaks down to being like metals are on one, energies are on another, agriculture, and for some reason agriculture, the Dow and the treasuries are on one, and then you have like the Nasdaq, the ES, and currencies on the other one. Jay, Jay asks, do the rules apply the same after passing? It gets a little tougher after you pass. That trailing drawdown actually is no longer end of day. Then it's like the others in the evaluation. You got to be careful of the drawdown. Other rules? Good question. You still got to follow the proof times, the progression ladder. The daily loss and the profit is the same. The drawdown is the same. It's just no longer end of day. There's no longer consistency rule when you pass. You can make as much money as you want without a problem. And the only major rule when you pass that isn't part of the Gauntlet is that once you're funded with the company, if you're not going to trade for long, if you need to take time away from trading, whether it's a vacation, whether it's illness, whatever, and you're going to be gone for more than 5 days, you need to let the company know. So now there's only one other cost besides your monthly fee, and that's if you fail. Resets cost $99. Oh yeah, they also have a regular. They call these the Gauntlet Mini. I've never seen anyone actually take the regular Gauntlet. I've never. It's money once. It's a 60-day challenge. I don't know much about it honestly. Um, so yeah, the reset fees are $99, and then you see these prices here. Like I said, 20% off if there's no sale going on or for whatever one you're interested in, and you use my link, you get 20% off. Uh, so that, yeah, the process of the eval we just went through. Decide what software you want to use. You do need to pick a platform. For the Gauntlet, Mini, Earn2Trade provides one of two. Either Ninjatrader, they'll give you a free license key. I already have this, and if I went through this process here, it would generate a new key, and that would throw out my old key and cause me all kinds of problems. So I'm not going to do that. Ninjatrader, that's actually software you download. Or Finamark. Oops, I forgot to change the scene. Sorry, Finamark is web-based. You can see here I'm not signed in. And it's not going to, it's actually, yeah, this is the Finamark platform. Web-based, it's a little clunky, but it's okay. Um, I'll go back to what I was talking about with Ninjatrader. This is Ninjatrader. And they give you a free license key to use for the evaluation. There's many other platforms out there that you can try. Sierra Charts, MotoWave, and a bunch of others. I've never used them. I can't talk about them. But if you come on the Earn2Trade Discord, There's people that use various ones on there that you can ask about. Um, some have monthly fees, some are free. I'm hoping eventually they integrate with TradingView, but that hasn't happened yet. So, okay, we talked about the rules. Get your okay. Once you pay the subscription fee, they'll send you credentials that you just put into your platform, and then and you start trading. We talked about the rules. Talked about choosing your account size. We talked about reset. If you do end up breaking a rule and you have to reset, yeah, it sucks. It sucks to have to pay for it and have to restart. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens. But that's why you want to practice as much as possible and until you feel comfortable, because you don't want to break that rule. You don't want to have to reset. And I actually have. We can go to the next slide here. My advice for passing the Gauntlet Mini: sim the eval first. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's go back to this. Sim the eval first. So, if you pick the 50K account, completely sim trade it. Sim trade until you reach your profit goal without breaking any of the rules, including following that progression ladder. If you do this and you take 15 days, do it in 50, do it 15 or longer days, however long it takes you, but prove to yourself that you can do exactly what's needed to pass the evaluation, but in simulated form. If you do it quicker than 15 days, do it twice. That way you're sure that when you go into this, there's no reason to trade any different than what you've been doing in sim, and that you're doing what you need to do to be able to pass this evaluation. Then it should be easy. So that's the first thing. Sim the evaluation first. I wish I had done that. I really do. Because, like I said, that builds up your confidence and gets you familiar with the setup. You want to control your risk. I always, one contract. One contract, there's no reason to, yes, you can trade two contracts, you know, uh, you can end up trading up to six on a 50K. In my opinion, there's no reason to trade more than one at a time. Not when you only need $200 a day average. There's no, why put more risk on than you need to? And make sure you're setting a stop loss on every order. If you're not using a stop loss, you're gonna end up blowing out. Definitely don't yellow. Small gains add up. There's no need to go for that big move. No need to hope, stay in a trade trying to get another couple $100 out of it when you're already up a couple hundred. Take the profit. Follow your trading plan. Whatever trading plan you came up with that was working for you in simulation, continue to follow it. If for some reason you feel it's no longer working, then you should go back to the simulator and tweak it or figure out what's going wrong there instead of continuing to try and trade it in the trading plan. And so, why are you changing it now if it worked in practice? And again, consider using micros to start. They're 1/10 the size of normal contracts. So even if you make a huge mistake somehow, you forget to set a stop loss, whatever, you stayed in a trade too long, you kept hoping it would come back. Whatever, you didn't follow your trading plan, and that went down, you know, If you go down, if you're in, like, say, the NQ, the NASDAQ, and it goes down 50 points on a regular contract, that's $1,000. If you go down 50 points on a micro NASDAQ, it's only $100. And it's not going to blow you out of the water. And then you can start, once you're getting confident, you can maybe go to 2 micro contracts, which is still only 2/10 the size of your normal contract. If you follow this, you have a much better shot at not blowing up the account and slowly progressing towards your goal of being funded. If you're just going to go for broke, go yellow, whatever, then you're probably going to end up month after month. I've seen people do 10 resets. I heard of a guy, and I can't confirm it, but I've heard of a guy that did 70. But I know there's at least one guy I see in a couple servers who's done at least 10. And I'm thinking that, he does them right back to back. So he's not taking any time to figure out what he did wrong in practice anymore. As soon as he fails, he starts another one. I saw one guy do 4 in 1 day. There's, you're trying to get funded so you don't have to risk your own money. So why are you throwing it away by paying reset fees? I would much rather pay a second monthly fee or even a third monthly fee and take your time to do it than constantly be paying reset fees. Because that's the other thing about sale prices. Say if you get in a sale price for whatever, that's what it's going to be, that price each month. So you don't have to worry about paying. Like if you get, like if you did the 25, it's not going to be $99 first month and $150 the next month. It's just going to be that $90 each month. So, get in on, instead of paying reset fees, if you can help it, just go slow. I think we're getting close to the end here. Let me look at, okay, what happens when you pass? I think we talked, what happens when you pass? Well, first of all, you stop trading. As soon as you pass the profit goal, stop trading. Shut everything down. So that way you don't accidentally go back below before they notice. You should get an email really quickly. Now, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And then it takes them a few days to get your actual funded account set up. And then once you do, you just gotta, basically it's like restarting the Gauntlet Mini. You're following all the same rules. You got to build back up. Um, they take 20% of your profit. For the first $5,000, you can choose to stay on a simulator and still get actual real profit. It's called a live sim. And after that, you go to an actual live account. You can also request just to go straight to a live account. Some people get all weird about that, and I don't know why. There's other companies out there, UProfit and Lilu, I believe. For the most part, they keep people even once funded on simulators. But with Earn2Trade, you get an actual live account. Um, if you break a rule once you're funded, then you got to go back and redo an evaluation. But if you broke a rule, like say you didn't, you broke a rule but you still had profit. Like if you broke the trading during approved times rule, you do get the profit in your account. You don't lose that. You don't forfeit it. Anything that's owed to you will be paid to you. Now, um, oh yeah, one other note for why I feel you should take a smaller account to start with, because Earn2Trade now also allows you to have multiple funded accounts. So start with a small one. Once you prove you can do it, if you want something bigger, you can do another evaluation for one of the bigger accounts. You can have as many accounts as you want. So there's no reason to just, no reason to go for a huge one when you want to get your feet wet to one or two of the smaller ones. Okay. So close that, open that. So what's the minimum you need to trade? You need a PC. There's really no viable option. Um, I should say PC or Mac. You need a full-size computer. There's really no viable option um, to trade on a mobile device right now yet. No one's really come out with an app. There's a couple workarounds with Ninjatrader for some sort of app using some sort of VPN. I don't understand it exactly. Um, but yeah, so you need. I mean, and I honestly I would not try to trade on a mobile device anyway. It's small. You need to be precise. You don't want to end up fat fingering something and ending up trying to enter one contract, you enter 10, or you try and close out a trade instead you add contracts. So you need a PC and you need a brain. As long as you can think, and as long as you can use a PC, you can trade. You can learn how to trade. You know, even if you have health problems or whatnot, as long as you can concentrate for a little bit of time each day, you can trade. The tools I use are simply I use Ninjatrader. I'm not going to bring that up now because maybe I can. Give me a second here. Okay. Well, I even have a rhythmic connection. Anyway, Ninjatrader is the platform I use to enter. Let me find the scene here. It's the platform I use to enter trades. This is Ninjatrader, a chart on Ninjatrader. You can see various tool. I can see my orders there. There's nothing there right now, and so forth. Chart. I enter an order. I have a sim account, so on and so forth. And the biggest tool I use is TradingView. Oops, get that out of there. TradingView is what I consider the best charting platform. And let me strip this down a minute. I meant to have this ready and I forgot. This is a TradingView chart. I have lines on it, so ignore that. So besides the lines, this is a naked chart. TradingView. A candlestick chart. There is different ways to trade. Some people just use order flow, which is using a DOM. I'm not an order flow trader. I follow these candlesticks. Green means it went up in price. Red means it came down in price. Simple. Size of the candle is how big the move was. So like on this one, it went up 23 ticks. This one, it came back down 30 ticks. This tiny one here, it went up nothing. Now I use three main indicators. An indicator is just something that helps you decide price at, whether or not a trade is good or not. Just, if you're looking at here, some people can just follow candles and decide. Now there's literally hundreds of indicators. If you look here, you can see there's literally hundreds. You can try certain ones out if you like them. By the way, TradingView is free. In fact, I even have that up. Hold on a minute. I put it somewhere. Don't know where I put it. TradingView, you can get a free account. You're only allowed one indicator on your chart at a time with a free account. Honestly, I pay for there are 3 tiers, and I pay for the 1 tier, and it's the best money I spent. And I also pay for live futures data, which is $4. Their cheapest tier is $14.95 a month, and honestly, I could not live without it. Um, the most important I use is called the Super Trend, and it's actually, in case you want to try these scripts, it is Super Trend by Kivak Ozbilkik. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's Turkish. Just type that in here and find it's the top one here on their community scripts. And what you see these buy and sell signals, and they are really helpful in deciding when to get into trade. Then you can't follow them blindly, and they're not always going to guarantee a winning trade. So I don't want you to think that. But this is based off the ATR, and if anyone wants to use this, I can show you, my settings. ATR period of 12. Well, how about that? Actually, I've been using 10. I'm not sure why that's 12. Interesting. Anyway, 2.2 multiplier, HL2. So yeah, it sends me these signals, and you can see a lot of times they're very good. Next thing I use is Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are simply they're a volatility indicator. You can see I have 2 sets of bands. You see these gold and you see the white. The gold is 2 standard deviations. 95% of all price action happens within the 2 standard deviation bands. Basically, the thought is that the further it extends to the bands or even about above the bands, more likely it's going to return back toward the middle. I actually don't like the 2 that much, but I do like the 3. The 3rd standard deviation band, which is this most outer band here, oftentimes tells me if it hits it, it's going to snap back. Let me see if I can find an example. Here, coming up, didn't hit it here, but it hit it here. See it come back, and we came down. Here, we hit the 3rd band, it started going sideways and then back up. Now, if it's kind of crawling up the bands, it's not always a good um, indicator. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other quick and dirty examples here, but here, came up, hit the 3rd band, pulled back to the 20 SMA. This is a simple moving average. This red line here. If I had any stability issues with Ninjatrader version 8, um, I haven't had it like, if you mean like crashing or anything like that, I haven't had any problems there. I occasionally lose connection, but I believe that's more a rhythmic issue than a Ninjatrader issue. Um, so the Bollinger Bands, 99% of all price action happens within that third band. So if it breaks that third band, you're almost, I shouldn't say almost guaranteed, but more likely than not, it's going to pull back, at least toward this moving average. 20 period simple moving average just means that it averages the last 20 candles, and this is the average of the last 20 candles. You can see here that when things break through the moving average, they can sometimes, they often then go that direction for a while, and they'll bounce off the moving average until the next time it breaks. And then the last thing I use is a 200 period um, exponential moving average. 200 period is, again, it averages the last 200 candles, but it puts more weight on the more recent candles. This is good for trying to figure out trend. It's really like if the price action's above the 200 EMA, then you're trending up, usually trending upwards. And if it's below, let's see if I can find it below. Obviously, copper's been trending upwards lately. Of course, I can't find it below. Not here. When it's below, it means it's trending down. A lot of people, the way will trade only in the direction of the EMA. So in other words, like here, with the price action below, they'll only take long trades. So that means they would not take that short trade, even though the short worked out. But they would take it then once it broke the EMA, and then they wouldn't take any long trades. Those are the three basic indicators I use, and this gets me pretty good results. Let me bring up my spreadsheet, and we're going to be wrapping up here in the next few minutes. This went longer than I expected it to, honestly, and I apologize for that. I have a spreadsheet that I keep. Where I track, I think it's 8 different assets. And go back to trading view here a minute. Let me go to my 1 minute chart. Let's go, oops, there we go. You can see here, another awesome thing that TradingView has. I track and mark out every trade I would have taken based on my strategy, based on the buys and sell signals, the Bollinger Bands, and the EMAs and the SMAs, and I track them out. Even if obviously I'm not trading 24/7, but I track every one that I would take, and I'm very honest with myself which ones I would take that are losses and winners, and then I put them on a spreadsheet. And on the spreadsheet, you can see these are I track each day, winners and losers. And you can see that it does very well for me, which is why I'm mad at myself that I'm not yet funded because I'm not taking these trades even though I've seen these stats. Anywhere between 55 to 65% win rates based on my strategy. So, it's another thing I would suggest you journal in some way. A lot of people suggest journaling for trading. When you take a trade, show your why, what happened with that trade, and write down why you took it and and the details about it. And that way you can start learning, what's working and what's not for you as well. Okay. So back here, okay, I went through my indicators, charting platform, how to set up and read a chart. I think it's okay. Okay, boom. So part 7, if anyone has any questions at this point that I haven't already addressed or you haven't asked yet, please feel free to ask. My promise to you, now I told you I can get you free access to that Earn2Trade course. Email me. I'll be posting on my email here in a second, or get a hold of me on Reddit or Facebook or whatever, and I'll get you a code. Now, one thing about that, let me actually bring up a incognito window here. Go back to the scene. This scares people a little bit, but hold on 1 second. Let me get the actual link. Copy link. There we go. Um, when you go, you're going to go here to the beginner crash course. As you can see, this normal price on this is 199.20. Normal price is actually 249. I'm going to be giving you a code so it's free. But you hit enroll now, it's going to ask you for the code. You got to put in a code here, which will make it 0. But it's going to still make you check out like it's a normal, but you'll never be charged. But I know that scares some people. Matter of fact, here, let me waste a code. I don't have that up. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second here while I bring up that notepad. Waste a code. There we go. So, put in this code. Code OK. You see it's 0. And full name, and I'll put down Mighty Ox. Mighty Ox Trading at gmail.com. Continue registration. Then it's going to ask you to put in all your information here. It's still going to ask you to put in payment details, but it's not going to charge you. I guarantee you. I've given this out to about 200 people, and it never charges. I've actually given people privacy cards that were totally paranoid about this, and it's all been fine. So there's no need to worry, but I just wanted to let you know that, if you want this free learning material, you will need to put in just some sort of card. I've had people tell me they used prepaid cards with no balance or whatever. I just wanted to let you know that if you want these materials, good job getting that ad in there on the trade. Okay, back to webinar. Oops. Oh, that was next anyway. So anyway, if you want to get started with this course, I am definitely willing to help every step of the way. If you have any questions, I'll answer as honestly as I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out, or I'll tell you I don't know. I'll be happy to give you any guidance. Like I said, honestly, I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm still working on being funded myself, but I understand all the concepts. I really do. So I'm willing, and I want to see other people succeed at this. I so believe in this opportunity. Uh, you know, I so believe in this opportunity. I believe it is the best opportunity for everybody. We talk so much about income inequality in this country, and whether you believe that that's something that government should help more or should stay out of, or whatever your side of the political spectrum, this is a way you can help yourself because it's available to anybody. There's no reason you can't learn to trade. So there's no reason not to do this. And I want to help. I want to see people succeed. I really did. Um, I considered never starting this whole trying to help others until I got funded. But I kept having people ask about it because I was talking about it too on Reddit, and I kept having people ask, how to get started and stuff. And so I decided to go for this and try to help people. And I would never encourage someone to do something I didn't believe in. And that's where all this started. So I hope you will consider starting this, and my promise to you is to help you every step of the way. Answer any questions you have along the way. Be available on YouTube, on Facebook, on Reddit, on Discord. So, and on that note, uh, here's my contacts. If you want to email me for the materials, mightyoxtrading@gmail.com. I'm on social media, of course, Ox Market Trading, or you can just send me a PM at the Mighty Ox. Um, Facebook, I just set up recently a Facebook page for Mighty Ox Trading. My YouTube channel, my Twitch channel, and my Twitter and Instagram might be coming soon. Um, Real quick, uh, I'll put those links back up here real shortly. I do 5 live streams trading each week. I've gotten down pretty good to a set schedule where I do 2 evenings and 3 mornings. The evenings are usually Monday and Wednesday at 7:45 Eastern, and the mornings are at 7:30 Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I invite you all to come in there and watch me trade. You can. I definitely like to take questions and talk during it. I hate just droning on and just hearing myself talk. Jay has a question. What could you say to someone who might think it's too good to be true or doubts about prop firm business models? The people that think it's too good to be true might be the ones that are more thinking trading is gambling. Um, there's nothing too good to be true about it because this takes effort. Trading is simple, but not easy. Trading is a skill that will be learned. The prop firms, I'll be honest, Earn2Trade, and you find this right on their website, that most people fail the evaluation because they don't prepare. You got to prepare. It's not too good to be true because it's just um, there's effort to put into it. Things that are too good to be true are things that you are too easily obtained. Um, the prop firms, they do make a lot of money on people coming in that aren't prepared, and they make a lot of money off the resets and all that. It's true, and they'll admit that. You go on to Earn2Trade and you'll have no employee ever. They don't make money off the resets, and they don't make money off the evaluation fees that people keep paying because they come in thinking that they know everything. I mean, people think I'm weird. I mean, I make obviously I'm an affiliate, and I'll be making money if I just told people, hey, sign up, do this. I do make money off of signups. So far, I've had one person sign up because I've been telling everybody to do this 2 to 3 times. Uh, you know, so you know that that's how it works. How did I backtest the strategy? Just by doing what I was showing here. Let me go to my trading view. I draw it out. Um, you know, like let's say here, if you see here, you see this sell signal here. I see no reason not to take this, and I'm not even. I guess I didn't draw out this part of the day, so I would do this. Normally, I'm looking for 1 point. Well, this time of day, I'll be looking for 16 ticks with a 10 tick stop loss, and you can see that got it on the first candle. And I just continue to draw these out. I would take this, and you see that got me my 1.6 there. And that's how I test it. So I just test any of the ones that I would have taken. Like this one I wouldn't have taken because of where it was at. But this one here, this ended up being a loss. I got in off of this candle here. I would have gotten in off this candle here. And I just do that forever, go through each day and decide where I would, which signals I would have taken. If there's no other questions, I think I'm going to wrap up here. I'll put the contact info back up on the screen. Have I considered Bloodhound? What is Bloodhound? I'm not sure what that is. Okay, I just found Bloodhound. Yeah, I just just did a quick search. I'll take a look at that and see how it looks. It might be interesting. Thanks for the advice. Okay, if no one else says anything, I'm going to wrap up here. Thank everyone for joining me. I hope you hit the like and subscribe or follow on Twitch. I appreciate that, Carlisle. I will definitely check it out. Thank you all for watching. This will stay up on wow. This will stay up on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it or refer to anyone to watching it. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Carlisle. Thank you, everybody. Bye. I don't know how to end this. Oh, um, golf. Email me or I can't. It's a different code for everyone. It's not one simple code. I got each person gets an individual code. So email me at the link mightyoxtrading@gmail.com, or catch me on one of the other socials. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.